Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Untangled Journal. I'm Jan, and we are continuing our journey through the 365 prophecies of Jesus. And this would be recording number 2 because I just realized I had recorded and the recording had failed. So I've already finished the drawing, but at least now you get to see what we're doing. And I will just then take you through it and show you what we're going to do just on my scrap journal. But let me go through it with you again. Today we're on prophecy number 25, and we're still in Psalm 2, but verse 7, which says that the Messiah is declared to be God's son. And in Psalm 2:7, it says in the Passion Translation, I will reveal the eternal purpose of God, for he has decreed over me. You are my favored son, and as your father, I have crowned you as my king eternal. Today I became your father. So such a powerful verse because it is not only speaking about a king in David's line, it points forward to the Messiah, the one who would not just rule for a season, but would be publicly declared as the Son of God. Psalm 2 begins, if you can remember yesterday, it began with raging rulers pushing back against God and his anointed one, but God is not panicked. He's not pacing heaven, wondering what to do next. Instead, he declares his king and confirms his son. And then in Acts 13, we see the fulfillment of this. In verse 32 to 33, Paul explains that God fulfilled this promise by raising Jesus from the dead. He connects Psalm 2:7 directly to the resurrection and says, in essence, this is the one Psalm 2 was pointing to. Then in Hebrews 1 verse 5, let me get the scripture here and we can read it together. 1 verse 5, it says, for God has never said to any angel what he said to Jesus, you are my favored son, today I have fathered you, and this, I will be the father to him, and he will be the son to me. And then in 5:5, Hebrews 5:5, it says, so also, Christ was not self-appointed and did not glorify himself by becoming a high priest, but God called and glorified him, for the Father said to him, you are my favored son, today I have fathered you. That title belongs uniquely to Jesus. God never said it to an angel. And the Father declared who he was and confirmed his authority. What I love about this prophecy is that it reminds us that Jesus' identity was declared by God himself. And that gives us confidence because if God was faithful to declare and reveal his son exactly as promised, then we can trust him with every other promise too. So for today's drawing, if you are following along, you will need some paper or your journal. I've used 2 micron pens, a 3 and a 5, because of the inking in the background. I just wanted a thicker nib. And then a pencil, an eraser, and our blending tool, or an earbud, just to sort of smudge the pencil. So we're going to start with a large circle in the center. So I'm just going to cover it up and then show you what to do. So we'll start with a largish circle, and then we're going to divide. We're going to draw a horizontal line going across the center, 2 horizontal lines going across, and then we'll divide the top half into 4. So that will be God's, and then the bottom we'll divide into 3, and that'll be Son. Okay, then we're going to use the outline of each section for every letter. So for the G, I'm going to go like this, and then double up so that the inside will be left white and the outside will be inked in. Then the O, so the G might be a little bit tricky. You might have to play around with that one a little bit to get it right. I know I had to. Or maybe you just get it first time round. Okay, and then the S. God's Son. And your letters may look a little bit different. The more abstract cooler it looks, I think. Take that up a bit. Okay, then I'm going to use my thinner nib just to outline everything. So I'll start with the circle. And then I'm going to go and ink in all the letters. It's okay if your letters are a little bit uneven or wonky. If you've got a shaky hand like mine, it's okay. Here we go. Oh, and the center piece there. Okay, I'm going to switch to my thicker nib now, and I'm just going to go and ink in the background. I love this one. I love how it looks. It's just so cool. So what I love about these kind of drawings is you don't need major artistic talent, or, you know, anyone can do this. If you love doodling and tangling, then you're going to enjoy this. And it's so, I find it so relaxing, and it's a great way to just reflect and meditate on what you've been learning about Jesus and all the prophecies, what it means to you, gratitude, pay attention to your breathing, and just get into a really relaxed state. You're so busy in the day, you're rushing around, doing this, doing that. So it's so nice to just take some time out to do something you enjoy. Okay, and then we're going to put some lines for the sun, like a preschool sun, how we used to draw them when we were little. There we go. And then we can go and erase the pencil, and then we'll go and add pencil and blend it in. Okay, there we go. I'm going to start with the big O. I'm just going to add pencil to the inside. Around all the letters, I'll do this. Which letter did you find the trickiest to do? I think for me it was the S's. That's strange because in a previous time it was, you know, the G that was tricky, and then I enjoyed doing the S's, but this time I found the S's a little bit trickier. Okay, let's go blend it all in. I think I would have liked to have made the G slightly thicker, but it's okay. As long as you can read it and it stands out. Excuse me. And when you're blending around the inked-in areas, just go gently so that you don't rub the ink off. And then it makes it a little bit rough. Okay, and then if you want, you can also go and add some ink around all the little lines, just on the one side, and keep them all on the same side. Okay. That's it. So in the center of the page, we have the sun, but the message inside it is clear, God's Son. So I don't think we'll ever forget that prophecy. And every time we look at it, we can just remember that Jesus wasn't merely admired by people, he was declared by God. Psalm 2 gave the promise, and the New Testament shows us the fulfillment. He is the Messiah, he is the King, he is God's Son. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.